When we think of ancient Egypt, we often picture towering pyramids, majestic pharaohs, and perhaps a hauntingly wrapped mummified body. Mummification wasn't just a burial custom, it was a profound connection to the divine, a promise of eternal life, and an intricate science rooted in centuries of tradition. But how exactly did the Egyptians perfect this art, and why does it still fascinate us today? To the ancient Egyptians, life on Earth was considered just the beginning of a much longer, more glorious existence in the afterlife. This deeply held belief influenced every aspect of their culture, from daily life to monumental structures. They viewed death not as an end, but as a transition to a divine realm where the soul could live eternally. This perspective shaped their society in profound ways, especially in their elaborate burial rituals and spiritual practices. At the heart of these rituals was mummification, a sacred and meticulous process designed to preserve the body as a vessel for the soul. The preservation of the body was seen as essential for the soul's journey, ensuring that it could be reunited with its physical form in the afterlife. From intricate embalming techniques to ornate tombs filled with goods and treasures, every detail was carefully crafted to secure a safe and prosperous passage into eternity. They believed that the body needed to remain intact for the Ka and Ba, two essential components of the soul in ancient Egyptian belief, to reunite and continue their eternal journey in the afterlife. The Ka was considered the vital essence, akin to a life force, while the Ba represented the personality or individuality of the person. Decay was seen not just as a physical loss of the body, but a profound spiritual tragedy, disrupting the soul's ability to achieve immortality and peace in the next world. The highly advanced mummification process followed defined steps that remained consistent for thousands of years, reflecting the ancient Egyptians' deep respect for the afterlife. It was a craft perfected by trained specialists, often priests, who were skilled in preserving the body for its journey to eternity. Every stage, from the removal of internal organs to the wrapping of the body in linen, held deep spiritual meaning, symbolizing purification and preparation for the soul's transition to the next world. This meticulous process was not only a technical achievement, but also a sacred ritual rooted in the belief that preserving the body ensured immortality. First, they carefully removed the internal organs, starting with the stomach and intestines, as these were the most susceptible to rapid decay and could cause the body to decompose if left inside. These organs were often washed and placed in canopic jars for preservation, each jar guarded by a specific deity. The heart, however, was usually left in the chest cavity as it held immense spiritual significance, believed to be the center of intelligence and the key to judgment in the afterlife. The brain, surprisingly, it was considered unimportant and was removed through the nose using a hooked tool, a process that required great precision. Once extracted, the brain was often discarded, as it was thought to have no role in the afterlife. The body would then be carefully packed and covered in natron, a naturally occurring salt, to thoroughly dehydrate it. Natron, a mixture of sodium carbonate and bicarbonate, was highly effective in drawing out moisture from the body tissues. This crucial stage of the mummification process lasted around 40 days, ensuring that all moisture was removed to prevent decay and prepare the body for the next steps in preservation. Once dried, the body was carefully rubbed with a mixture of oils and resins, which not only created a protective barrier against bacteria, but also helped preserve the skin and tissues for the afterlife. These substances were often fragrant and served a ceremonial purpose as well. Finally, the body was meticulously wrapped in layers of linen, each layer applied with great care. Between the wraps, amulets were placed to provide spiritual protection, and prayers were often recited or inscribed to guide the deceased safely on their journey to the afterlife. Mummification wasn't a solo task. It required a team of highly skilled individuals, each with a specific role, working together to perfect the intricate process. From the embalmers who carefully prepared the body, to the artisans who crafted the burial masks and decorated the sarcophagus, and the priests who performed rituals to guide the deceased into the afterlife, every step was a coordinated effort. This collaboration ensured that the body was preserved and the soul was properly honored for its journey beyond. The chief embalmer, often dressed as the jackal-headed god Anubis, played a critical role in the mummification process. This individual not only oversaw the entire procedure to ensure it adhered to strict religious and spiritual standards, but also symbolized protection and guidance for the deceased's journey into the afterlife. Meanwhile, other specialists were assigned specific tasks, removing internal organs like the lungs, stomach, and intestines to prevent decomposition, carefully wrapping the body in linen to preserve it, and chanting prayers or sacred incantations to invoke divine blessings and ensure the soul's passage to the afterlife. Each step of the process was steeped in ritual and spiritual significance. Families and the wider community were also deeply involved, providing offerings such as food, flowers, and other symbolic items, which were often carefully prepared and selected to hold cultural or spiritual significance. They actively participated in elaborate ceremonies that often included music, dance, and traditional rituals, each element meticulously planned to honor tradition and heritage. These gatherings created a sense of unity and shared purpose, as the contributions of families and the community were seen as a vital part of ensuring the success, sanctity, and deeper meaning of these events. Modern science has revealed just how sophisticated ancient Egyptian techniques were, shedding light on their remarkable achievements in areas like architecture, medicine, and engineering. The precision of their construction methods, such as those used to build the Great Pyramid of Giza, continues to astonish researchers, with recent discoveries including hidden chambers that may hold further clues about their construction processes. In the field of medicine, advanced surgical tools and detailed medical papyri found in ancient tombs showcase their deep understanding of anatomy and healthcare practices, including early forms of surgery and treatments for various ailments. These findings highlight the ingenuity, innovation, and vast knowledge of this ancient civilization, leaving us with a richer understanding of their world. Through advanced imaging techniques, researchers have uncovered previously unknown methods used by ancient civilizations to preserve organs and protect the body during mummification. These findings reveal a highly sophisticated understanding of preservation and hygiene. For instance, it has been discovered that resins applied during the wrapping process not only helped bind the wrappings, but also possessed antibacterial properties, effectively halting decay and preventing the growth of harmful microorganisms. This intricate process highlights the advanced knowledge and care taken to ensure the body remained intact for centuries. Excavations continue to unearth hidden secrets, revealing fascinating glimpses into ancient practices and beliefs. For instance, the discovery of mummies coated in rare substances, such as bitumen, not only sheds light on the complex preservation techniques used by ancient civilizations, but also provides the origin of the word mummy itself, derived from the Persian word mum, meaning wax or bitumen. These findings deepen our understanding of how societies honored and prepared their dead for the afterlife. Mummification's legacy extends far beyond ancient Egypt, where it was perfected as an intricate process to preserve the dead for the afterlife. Its influence can still be seen in modern embalming practices, which aim to preserve bodies for funerals and memorials. Beyond the technical aspects, mummification has shaped how we honor and remember the dead, inspiring ceremonies and traditions that emphasize respect, memory, and the preservation of a person's legacy for future generations. Additionally, mummies have become a symbol of resilience and human ingenuity, representing the incredible techniques ancient civilizations developed to preserve their dead for centuries. They draw millions of visitors to museums worldwide, offering glimpses into long-lost cultures and sparking curiosity about history. Beyond the academic realm, mummies have also inspired countless stories in popular culture, from literature and films to modern-day mythology, highlighting their enduring impact on human imagination. The art of mummification evolved significantly over the centuries. What started as a simple, natural preservation process, where bodies were dried out in the hot desert sands, transformed into a highly specialized craft. Ancient Egyptian embalmers developed intricate techniques, including the removal of internal organs, the use of natron for drying, and the application of resins and linens, all designed to prepare the deceased for the afterlife with great care and reverence. In the earliest periods, the hot, dry desert environment naturally preserved bodies, as the arid conditions prevented decay. Over time, ancient Egyptians began to refine this natural process, developing intentional methods of dehydration to ensure preservation was not left to chance. They used natron, a naturally occurring salt, to draw out moisture from the body, which was crucial for preventing decomposition. This was combined with intricate embalming rituals, including the removal of internal organs, wrapping the body in linen, and the application of oils and resins. These advancements not only perfected the preservation process, but also reflected the Egyptians' deep spiritual beliefs about the afterlife. Behind every mummy lies a story, often filled with mystery, history, and intrigue, offering a glimpse into the lives, cultures, and beliefs of those who came before us. Some mummies have captivated the world's imagination more than others, becoming symbols of entire civilizations. From ancient Egyptian pharaohs entombed with treasures meant to accompany them to the afterlife, to Incan children sacrificed and preserved atop frozen mountaintops, these mummies weave a rich tapestry of human history. They reveal secrets of past civilizations, from their rituals and diets to their medical practices and spiritual beliefs. Each preserved body serves as a time capsule, connecting us to a world long gone, yet endlessly fascinating, reminding us of the universality of life and death across time. Mummification's legacy extends far beyond ancient Egypt, where it was perfected as an intricate process to preserve the dead for the afterlife. Its influence can still be seen in modern embalming practices, which aim to preserve bodies for funerals and memorials. Beyond the technical aspects, mummification has shaped how we honor and remember the dead, inspiring ceremonies and traditions that emphasize respect, memory, and the preservation of a person's legacy for future generations. Additionally, mummies have become a symbol of resilience and human ingenuity, representing the incredible techniques ancient civilizations developed to preserve their dead for centuries. They draw millions of visitors to museums worldwide, offering glimpses into long-lost cultures and sparking curiosity about history. Beyond the academic realm, mummies have also inspired countless stories in popular culture, from literature and films to modern-day mythology, highlighting their enduring impact on human imagination. The art of mummification evolved significantly over the centuries. What started as a simple natural preservation process where bodies were dried out in the hot desert sands transformed into a highly specialized craft. Ancient Egyptian embalmers developed intricate techniques, including the removal of internal organs, the use of natron for drying, and the application of resins and linens, all designed to prepare the deceased for the afterlife with great care and reverence. In the earliest periods, the hot, dry desert environment naturally preserved bodies, as the arid conditions prevented decay. Over time, ancient Egyptians began to refine this natural process, developing intentional methods of dehydration to ensure preservation was not left to chance. They used natron, a naturally occurring salt, to draw out moisture from the body, which was crucial for preventing decomposition. This was combined with intricate embalming rituals, including the removal of internal organs, wrapping the body in linen, and the application of oils and resins. These advancements not only perfected the preservation process, but also reflected the Egyptians' deep spiritual beliefs about the afterlife. Behind every mummy lies a story, often filled with mystery, history, and intrigue, offering a glimpse into the lives, cultures, and beliefs of those who came before us. Some mummies have captivated the world's imagination more than others, becoming symbols of entire civilizations. From ancient Egyptian pharaohs, entombed with treasures meant to accompany them to the afterlife, to Incan children sacrificed and preserved atop frozen mountaintops, these mummies weave a rich tapestry of human history. They reveal secrets of past civilizations, from their rituals and diets to their medical practices and spiritual beliefs. Each preserved body serves as a time capsule, connecting us to a world long gone, yet endlessly fascinating, reminding us of the universality of life and death across time. From King Tut, whose tomb unlocked untold riches and mysteries of ancient Egypt, to Ramses II, the great pharaoh, whose well-preserved face still commands awe and respect thousands of years later. Each mummy offers a fascinating glimpse into their time, their way of life, and the secrets surrounding their death. These preserved figures connect us to a world long gone, revealing stories of power, reverence, and the meticulous rituals of mummification that defined their journey to the afterlife. Mummification wasn't just about preserving the body. It was a deeply spiritual process that reflected the ancient Egyptians' beliefs about the afterlife. The artifacts buried alongside the deceased, such as jewelry, amulets, and everyday items, held profound spiritual significance. These objects were carefully chosen to protect the individual's soul and ensure they had everything needed to navigate the challenges of the afterlife and reach eternal peace. Canopic jars housed the vital organs removed during the mummification process, each protected by a specific deity to ensure the organs were safeguarded for the afterlife. These jars played a critical role in preserving the body for eternity, reflecting the ancient Egyptians' meticulous preparation for life beyond death. Ushapti figurines, on the other hand, were crafted as small, human-shaped servants intended to assist the deceased with manual labor in the afterlife. Often inscribed with spells from the Book of the Dead, these figurines symbolize the belief that the afterlife was a continuation of earthly existence, requiring tools and helpers. Each artifact was both practical and deeply symbolic, underscoring the profound connection between life on Earth and the eternal journey that followed. Ancient Egyptians didn't just mummify humans, they also mummified animals for a variety of religious and spiritual purposes. Cats, birds, crocodiles, and even fish were carefully preserved using similar techniques as those used for humans. These animal mummies were often created as offerings to the gods, meant to symbolize devotion or to serve as messengers to the divine. In some cases, animals were mummified to accompany their owners into the afterlife, believed to provide protection or companionship in the next world. Temples dedicated to specific gods, such as Bastet or Horus, often housed vast quantities of animal mummies, demonstrating the deep connection between these creatures and Egyptian religious practices. These mummified animals played a significant role in rituals and ceremonies, embodying spiritual beliefs and ensuring a lasting connection to the divine. Cats, revered as sacred to the Egyptian goddess Bastet, were often associated with protection, fertility, and home life. They were not only cherished as pets, but also commonly mummified as offerings to honor Bastet, reflecting their deep cultural and spiritual significance. Similarly, ibises were considered sacred to Thoth, the god of wisdom, writing, and knowledge. These elegant birds were frequently sacrificed and mummified in vast numbers as a way to seek favor or guidance from Thoth. Even crocodiles, fearsome creatures of the Nile, were embalmed and preserved as symbolic representations of Sobek, the god of strength, power, and the Nile's life-giving waters. These practices highlight the profound connection ancient Egyptians felt between their gods and the natural world. Egyptian mythology is filled with stories that emphasize the importance of preserving the body for eternity, reflecting their deep belief in the afterlife. Ancient Egyptians saw the body as a vessel for the soul, and its preservation through mummification was essential to ensure a safe journey to the afterlife. These practices were rooted in their spiritual traditions and the idea that maintaining the physical form allowed the deceased to enjoy an eternal existence among the gods. The myth of Osiris, often considered the story of the first mummy, tells of the god's tragic death and eventual resurrection. According to the legend, Osiris was betrayed and dismembered by his jealous brother Seth, who scattered his body parts across Egypt. His devoted wife, Isis, tirelessly searched for the pieces, reassembling and magically restoring his body with the help of her sister, Nephthys. This act of reconstruction not only brought Osiris back to life, but also established a powerful precedent for the spiritual importance of preserving the body for the afterlife, a belief that became central to ancient Egyptian burial practices. How did ancient Egyptian burial practices, with their elaborate rituals, meticulous mummification process, and grand tomb constructions like pyramids and underground tombs, compare to the burial traditions of other civilizations? For instance, the simpler cremations of ancient Greece often reflected a focus on the soul's journey rather than the preservation of the body, while the ritualistic burial mounds of the Celts, like barrows and cairns, were tied deeply to their spiritual beliefs and connections to the land. These differing practices reveal much about each civilization's view of death, the afterlife, and the importance of honoring those who had passed. While Egyptians mastered the art of preservation through intricate mummification techniques and the use of embalming fluids, other cultures focused on different approaches to honor their dead. For example, ancient China constructed elaborate tomb complexes, often filled with treasures, artifacts, and even life-size terracotta warriors to accompany the deceased into the afterlife. In Northern Europe, bodies were naturally preserved in peat bogs, where the unique acidic and oxygen-free environment prevented decay, leaving behind remarkably well-preserved remains that provide fascinating insights into life during that time. Mummification wasn't accessible to everyone. It was a complex and meticulously detailed process that required significant resources, specialized skills, and considerable wealth. Reserved primarily for the elite and those who could afford it, mummification involved highly trained embalmers who dedicated years to mastering their craft. The process required expensive materials such as fine linen, resins, and oils, which were often imported and highly valued. Elaborate rituals accompanied the procedure, reflecting deep spiritual beliefs and the desire to preserve the body for the afterlife. The process could take weeks or even months, as every step, from removing internal organs to wrapping the body in layers of cloth, was performed with care to ensure the deceased's successful journey into eternity. Mummification was not just a physical act, but a profound spiritual and cultural practice, symbolizing status, devotion, and eternal life. The elite could afford the most intricate and elaborate mummifications, often involving specialized techniques, rare materials, and skilled artisans to ensure their preservation for the afterlife. In contrast, commoners typically relied on simpler methods or natural preservation, such as burying bodies in the desert sands, which provided a naturally arid environment. This stark disparity highlights not only the social class divide of ancient Egypt, but also the deep connections between power, religion, and economics. For the wealthy, mummification was a way to secure their status and journey into the afterlife, while for the common people, preservation was often left to the forces of nature. Unfortunately, not all tombs escaped the trials of time. Many were plundered over the centuries, with looters breaking in and robbing them of their treasures, artifacts, and even sacred items meant to accompany the deceased into the afterlife. These acts of theft have left some tombs stripped of their historical and cultural significance, offering only faint traces of the grandeur they once held. Tomb raiding not only destroyed countless artifacts, but also significantly influenced how pharaohs approached their burial practices. These raids, driven by greed and desperation, often stripped tombs of their treasures and desecrated the remains of Egypt's rulers. In response, later pharaohs, such as those buried in the Valley of the Kings, adopted new strategies to protect their legacy. They moved away from the massive, conspicuous pyramids of earlier dynasties and instead constructed hidden tombs in remote, rocky areas. These tombs were carefully concealed and camouflaged to deter looters, reflecting the enduring struggle to preserve their afterlife treasures and safeguard their memory for eternity. Mummies have transcended history, captivating the imagination of people for centuries and gaining a permanent place in popular culture. These preserved remains, often associated with ancient Egyptian burial practices, were originally created as symbols of preservation and the afterlife, reflecting complex beliefs about immortality and the spirit's journey beyond death. Over time, mummies have evolved from being purely historical artifacts to fascinating figures in films, literature, and art, often portrayed as mysterious or even terrifying. Their enduring presence in popular culture continues to spark curiosity and inspire exploration into the rituals, traditions, and mysteries of the past, offering a window into ancient civilizations and their views on life and death. From classic novels like Bram Stoker's The Jewel of Seven Stars, which delves into the mysteries of ancient Egypt and explores the supernatural power of ancient relics, to blockbuster films like the Mummy series, featuring action-packed adventures, cursed tombs, and undead villains, mummies have long inspired a mix of fascination and fear. These timeless figures, wrapped in layers of history and myth, have captured the imagination of audiences across generations, symbolizing both the allure of the unknown and the enduring power of ancient civilizations. As new technologies emerge, our understanding of mummification continues to deepen, offering unprecedented insights into this ancient practice. Advanced imaging techniques and chemical analyses have revealed intricate details about the methods used, the cultural and religious significance of preserving the dead, and even clues about the daily lives, health, and diets of those who lived thousands of years ago. Each discovery adds a new layer to our knowledge, bridging the gap between the past and the present. From genetic analysis revealing intricate familial ties to advanced imaging technologies uncovering secrets buried for millennia, the future of mummification studies promises to be as rich and fascinating as its past. These cutting-edge tools are enabling researchers to explore ancient lives in unprecedented detail, shedding light on their health, diets, and even cultural practices, offering us a deeper understanding of civilizations long gone. The art of mummification is both a testament to ancient Egypt's deep spirituality and its unparalleled innovation. By mastering preservation, they created a bridge to eternity, leaving behind lessons and mysteries that continue to captivate us. If you enjoyed exploring this timeless practice, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Want to learn more about the secrets of ancient Egypt? Check out our exclusive content below.